Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to RCC Kids Online. This is where you can come and check out the Bible story for the day in case you missed it Sunday morning. So this month we start a brand new word. It's the first day of the month, and so this month we're talking about patience, and we are learning how waiting until later for what you want now. That's what patience is all about. And this morning, we are learning about how waiting can make you wise. So it's kind of interesting. So pay close attention and let's see if we can figure out how waiting can make us wise. So check out the story.
Hey everyone, I'm Erica, and today, so sorry, hold on a second. Whew. That's better. Thank you for your patience, which is actually what we're talking about today. In Proverbs, we find wisdom that can apply to every area of our lives, especially when we get frustrated or have to wait for what we want. Let's check out this awesome verse. Proverbs 14:29 says, "Anyone who is patient has great understanding, but anyone who gets angry quickly shows how foolish they are." Ouch! Let's break that down. Anyone who is patient has great understanding. Someone who has understanding makes wise choices. So, choosing patience can help you become a wise person. But let's look on that flip side. But anyone who gets angry quickly shows how foolish they are. Being foolish doesn't mean that you aren't smart. In fact, you could get 100% on every test and still make foolish choices when something makes you angry. Patience is a gift and skill that you can develop. It's all about choosing to respond instead of react. Think of it this way. Suppose a kid cuts ahead of you in line on the playground. If you choose to react without thinking first, you're probably going to shove back or yell at them. And we all know how that ends up. But if you choose instead to respond, you take a deep breath first, you think about what you're going to say and do. You remember that you have the power to stop a fight rather than add to it. You might even make a quick silent prayer to God. Help! It's very silent. Then you choose to respond with patience and not shove back or yell. You can always tell a teacher if it keeps happening, but in the meantime, you stop a fight and you will still get a turn, even if you have to wait a little longer. In the Bible, we discover a lot of stories about patience. Stories about people who were super impatient, but also stories of people who learned patience through the tough work of waiting. Take King David. He waited more than 10 years from the time he was anointed as Israel's next king until he actually became king. And during most of that time, he was on the run.
I keep my eyes always on the Lord. He is at my right hand, so I will always be secure.
Or think about Joseph. He also waited years and years from the time his brothers sold him to be enslaved through unfair imprisonment to when he was released and put in charge of all Egypt. Joseph later told his brothers,
"You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good."
And finally, remember Jesus. Jesus chose to be patient at all times, both with his friends and family, who often misunderstood him, and with his enemies, who constantly tried to trick him. Jesus is a perfect example of patience, and David and Joseph can also show us what it looks like to wait well. Let's take one more look at our verse. Anyone who is patient has great understanding, but anyone who gets angry quickly shows how foolish they are. So, choose to take a deep breath. Choose to respond instead of react. Choose to do something creative or helpful with your time. And pretty soon, you'll discover what it looks like to wait well. The end.
Gotta admit, I usually get it backwards. Speak first, think second.
Yeah, for me, it's more about holding my tongue when I have to wait a long time, like on a road trip.
Are we there yet?
Hey, I am not the perfect model of patience either, but I can say that I'm growing. I'm more patient now than I used to be.
So, what's our part in the story?
Our role is to learn how to wait well. And there are lots of ways to do that. The first and best way to wait well is to ask God for help. Paul wrote that patience is actually a gift from God's Spirit.
You can also wait well by finding something to do with your waiting time, like encouraging someone.
You could even make the time go faster by building an awesome brick creation.
Or surprising your mom by taking out the trash before she asks.
Another great way to wait well is to make yourself take a couple of deep breaths. And give yourself time to think before you react. You can also remember what's true, that God loves you and has a good plan for you, even when you have to wait.
And God is always with you when you wait.
Even on a 10-hour road trip when your little brother is poking you in the backseat.
Even then, I'll see you next time.
Bye. So here's the thing. Waiting can make you wise.
Waiting can also make you some really yummy food.
It's still hours to dinner time.
Yeah, but right now it's officially
Story Lab snack time.
yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you for joining us in the Story Lab.
See you next time.
Pickles.
Kevin, it was so awesome of you to do our waiting for us.
My pleasure. Can't forget mine too. I like Story Lab snack time too. Don't forget the barbecue sauce. You gotta have barbecue sauce.
That's the most important part.
Hey guys, welcome back. So I hope you paid close attention because I think we figured out how waiting can make you wise. So I heard some things that we can do whenever we might be getting frustrated, losing our patience, maybe losing our temper. And the first thing was we can just take a breath. So we can just breathe. And then the second thing was we can think. So we can respond instead of reacting. Because sometimes we lose our temper and we just react. And then the third thing, probably the most important, is we can say a prayer and ask God to help us. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's Bible story. Before we go, here are some really important announcements of some different things that are coming up. Our summer camp registration is open, so be sure to check out lscacamp.org so you can get signed up for an awesome week of camp. And then also coming up, we have Discover Jesus for Kids next week, and that's our class that teaches us all about Jesus and what baptism means and why Jesus died on a cross, God rose him from the grave. So we'll answer all those questions. That class is next week. And then also coming up, we have Cereal and Cinema on April 17th. And that's going to be a fun night where we'll have all sorts of different breakfast cereals for our snack, and then we'll play some cool games. Maybe we'll even bring out the black lights. And then also, I think Impact is coming up on April 21st. So come hang out with us as we learn about service. And I think at that Impact, we're going to go on a special prayer walk. So be sure to come hang out with us. Is that the last one? That might be how could I forget? Vacation Bible School's coming up June 3rd through the 7th. We're going to start the party. We're going to have an amazing time. Registration is open, so be sure to get registered so you can come and have an amazing time at Vacation Vacation Bible School. And I think that was the last one. So, hey guys, don't forget that waiting can make you wise. Have a great